Okay. I woke up with severe pain. In addition, my right breast did not match with my left. At that point, I started to regret what I had done. Within 3 days, I developed bruising and my chest wall. I swelled up, felt very uncomfortable, and about 3 months after the original surgery, my implants started to deflate. This is what makes plastic surgery and something very dangerous. But many people start doing it because they don't feel comfortable with their body. They don't feel comfortable with what they look like. Just like, hey, she did plastic surgery because, she thought after having kids, let me get a little lift, let me feel better about myself. And after a while, she realized that her family has a history of having breast cancer. And when you get breast implants, it's harder to diagnose if you do have it or not because the implants are in the way. Today, I want to explain the dangers of plastic surgery, why people get them done, and the acceptance of doing them. And hopefully, by finding out the information one day, you'll just think about it twice if you want to do it. There's always been a body perfect image placed on all of us that we see in the media and we see everywhere. When thinking of having any type of surgery, there's always dangers. What the result may be. If a person is not in need of having a plastic surgery, they should not have it. But it seems like people are never satisfied with their body image. The first mistake people do is try and find a bargain. Many people cannot afford a plastic surgery. They just want it because they want to look better about themselves. Their nose is too big, or their breasts are too small, or their butt is too big or too small, and they don't have the money. For example, published on a website called plasticsurgery.org, some lady, not describe her name, she could not afford a plastic surgery. Her limit was $6,000. So she started doing some research. She did do the research, which was very good, but it was very bad research. She started doing research, and she found a clinic in Mexico for $2,000, and oh my gosh, it was great. I'm going to pay $2,000. Her limit was $6,000, so she was excited about it. So she went, she paid $2,000, and after the surgery, her breasts were fine, but after a while, they started getting rock hard. She would hug people, and it was painful to the other person, going ow, they're hurting me, because they're so hard. And to get them fixed, to get all that, she had just paid $2,000, wow, made a big deal, but overall, it cost her $10,000 to get fixed and for her breasts to look fine. Now she likes her breasts, but she has to go through, let me, find a quick fix, cheap something, and for $2,000, it sounded pretty good. So she ended up getting rock hard breasts, but she got them fixed for $10,000 after many doctors had checked her and done many surgeries on her. Another thing that happens that's very dangerous in surgeries is the deformation. You either end up with no lip or too much lip, or one breast bigger than the other, or your nose too pointy, or no nose at all. For example, a great example for the scars that are left and it's not very pleasing is Kenny Rogers, which, being an older man, decided, I need a little eye lift. And now Kenny Rogers does not look like Kenny Rogers anymore. He looks like somebody's scared, and he says that he can't even close his eyes at night sometimes because it hurts too much. People never think of a plastic surgery. They find it as a simple procedure. They think just because it's something you're going to get fixed, your option, it's not going to be something dangerous. It's just going to be, I'm going to walk in there, get them put in, get them cut out, and I'm going to look fine, and nothing will be bad. When a woman gets breast augmentation, they have higher risk of not being able to detect breast cancer, like I said earlier, because the implants get in the way, so when you do go get a mammogram or something, it doesn't get it, you can't detect it right away. So if surgery is so dangerous, and why are people still doing it? Well, people do it because they see it in the media. We always see somebody wants to look like Angelina Jolie, or wants to have a hot body like Brad Pitt, and they just look at all these people, and that's their idol. They don't look at the people that are saving people's lives. They just look at the body perfect image. The thing that I find interesting is that even though people see that, there is hot, attractive people in the media that have gotten surgery and are perfectly fine, but what about those in the media that have gotten the surgery and they look horrible? People don't look at that. They just go I want to look like her, but they never see what happened to the other celebrity that got her whole life messed up because of it. seem to find something wrong with their body. They never think it's perfect. It's either their nose, their breast, their butt, or their face. You know, my face is too much of an egg shape or something. They're never satisfied with what they see in the mirror. And another thing that people decide to get surgery is because they just want to fit in. They always want to find that special someone, and they think because they don't look perfect, they're not going to find that special someone. There's so many things that people do to find that someone, and one of them is plastic surgery. We also have eHarmony. A lot of people just do that because they want to find somebody. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's a danger with going all the way down the needle just to look perfect to find that person. Everybody's always trying to find, like I said, they want to have their perfect image to everybody to love them, but if somebody loves you, they're going to love you for who you are, not for how big your breasts are. Not all surgeries are bad. There's also exceptions to why you should get a plastic surgery. There's many people that have gone through accidents and stuff and are deformed, so they deserve to get a reconstructive plastic surgery so they can have a better image and feel good about themselves because of what happens to them, the tragedy or something like that. Another reason somebody might get a surgery would be after having breast cancer, one of your breasts, you don't have a breast. After knowing that you don't have any more cancer in you, it wouldn't hurt to, have the option of getting breast implants and feel like a woman again. I believe that the only alternative to not having to do plastic surgery is learning to love yourself, learning to love the person that you see in the mirror every single day. All in all, today I have talked about the dangers of plastic surgery, why people do them, and the exceptions to having them done. Some people might have surgery done. It may have worked for them, but others it may not have worked. Are you really willing to take a 50-50 chance on your life? So the next time that you consider having plastic surgery, just think my mother.
All right, Dasha, what did you think?
I thought she had a good attention device with the quote. I thought she had a clear thesis and what she was going to talk about and the structure, how she was going to follow the transitions fit pretty well. I think she needs to cite the sources a little bit more. Her eye contact was good, and she only read when she was reading quotes and stuff. And her conclusion was really good, and the message behind it was really good too.
All right. At the beginning, I would agree that she had a clear preview. The preview to me sounded a little bit more like it was an informative speech rather than a persuasive speech. Now later on in the presentation, you do convey a point of view that I think sounds a lot more persuasive, and so that kind of overcomes that. The supporting material is signposted clearly as you're going through the speech. The secondary points, they're cited pretty clearly. At the end, I thought you had a pretty good summary of what the content of the speech was. I'd agree, you've got some good examples. I like the example that you used for your attention device. You come back with some other familiar examples that people will probably know a little about. Maybe they've seen Kenny Rogers, and so those are okay. The problem is that we don't know in what proportion those kinds of disasters or problems crop up. And since you've talked about how people are obsessed with their image, a couple of different places in the speech, my guess is that there are a lot of people who are getting this kind of surgery. I don't know what, you didn't give us a number about, for instance, the number of breast implants. Do you double that, by the way, if you get 2? So if you had 20 million breast implants each year, if you're just one person. Oh, no. Bad joke. There's no data on how many surgeries there are, and then what the proportion of consequences are. So you've got 3 people who are complaining here about having bad surgeries, and if there are 10 million people every year getting some kind of cosmetic surgery, that doesn't seem like it's a very fair inference to be drawing. On the presentation, I thought your voice was fine. Your eye contact, it was okay. Sometimes it seemed a little inconsistent, especially on this side of the room. Your gestures and your feet looked a little bit nervous, but I liked the way that you came back at the end and had a good summary, and you made your point of view clear. All right, thank you.